Hi, I'm Vince with Barco, and today we're going to talk about EventMaster 6.0. As always, you can find a full list of these features in the What's New file located in the download package, which can be found here. So this update includes support for our newly released hardware, the first of which is our new EC210 controller. Some of the main differences between the EC210 and the EC200 include the power button on the front panel, which allows for soft power downs, an HDMI output capable of outputting to an ultra-wide monitor. This output will allow for a third toolset window, and finally an HDMI input, which will display on the left screen. Secondly, we're adding support for the new Quad HDMI 2.0 input card. Remember, best practice is to upgrade the E2, S3, or EX to the 6.0 firmware before installing this new card. Lastly, on Generation 2 input and output cards, we're increasing the maximum connector capacity from 1 4K to 2 4K per card. On the E2, double capacity is available on these 4 input slots. On the S3, it's these 2 input slots. On the EX, it's both. Every output slot supports dual 4K output when using Generation 2 output cards. Now let's take a quick glance at the new software features. So we've added a new canvas mode we're calling Program Only. Enabling this will actually double the amount of available program canvas since the processor is no longer reserving canvas for preview. After updating the canvas mode, save the configuration by pressing the Save All button on the left tab and then soft reset or power cycle the unit for the system to reconfigure the VPU cards. The one feature removed in the Program Only mode is the ability to use chroma keyers. Luma key features are still available though. Also, keep in mind, because this mode no longer maintains a preview canvas, backgrounds will cut directly to program. We've added the long-awaited external device control feature. This will allow a user to control up to 12 external devices that can receive TCP or UDP commands over Ethernet. The configuration page will now indicate the status of the Genlock input connector. As you can see, loss of signal goes from green to red. Backup system sync functionality is now included. Simply enter the IP address of the backup unit and press the sync button. This will push the system settings from the active system to the backup system. Please note, both systems must have identical hardware configurations. In the Units Adjust tab, we've added a status page to show the status of each card's fan and FPGA temperature. We've added an Apply button for EDID programming. A user can now update the EDID and then press Apply to program the EDID. Prior to version 6, custom EDID programming was updated immediately per field. This button allows the user to enter the complete EDID timing and apply it in its entirety. The Custom Format section will now alert the user with a required connector capacity needed information. The user can then adjust the connector capacity accordingly. We've added an LED mode for the circle alignment test pattern that produces alternating red, green, and blue rectangles of user-defined size. The pattern also includes the row and column position of each tile. We've added a new button to the left side of EventMaster. This is the Queue menu. A queue is a user-configurable list of actions such as recalling presets, external device control, and take commands. These queues can be played back with user-defined timing. In this menu, the user can configure up to 12 queues with up to 12 actions per queue. These queues can be played back in the programming menu or assigned to any of the EC series controllers. Just like inputs, We're now allowing users to create source files for stills and screen destination sources. In the Layer Control section of the programming page, we've added a swap button. This feature, when used with a mixing layer, will allow for different layer positions from preview to program, rather than keeping them matched in regards to their size and position. In the web application, we've added a tab that will allow users to test the JSON RPC interface. In the same web interface, we've added a tab that allows users to recall and transition presets. This grants additional points of limited control. All that is required is a browser on the same network as the processor. And that's it for EventMaster 6.0. Remember, if you have any questions, head over to the Barco Folsom Switchers group on Facebook. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our Barco Folsom IP channel on YouTube. Until next time, I'm Vince with Barco.